The March to May rolls on in the National Lacrosse League here on TSN Plus. In Hamilton, Ontario at TD Coliseum, the Saskatchewan Rush, the only team so far to clinch a playoff spot, the first overall seed. Right now, the Toronto Rock still within reach of that position as they are coming off a game road win streak. Matthew Carrick alongside Brian Shanahan. We'll say hello to Ashley Docking shortly, but Brian, this is a very important game in terms of standings for both of these two teams.
Yeah, it sure is. You know, the Saskatchewan Rush in first place, the best record, but they've lost 2 out of their last 3, and they've lost the last they played against Toronto Rock. They want first place. Just a little bit below here, Toronto wants to be in top 4, because if you get in the top 4, you get to host that one-game knockout playoff game.
Chance to be third tonight, tied with Colorado with a win. That would leapfrog them over Georgia. Plenty to marvel with on both of these two teams, including the offense of Saskatchewan. They're led by Robert Church, as they have been for many seasons.
Yeah, the most veteran player in this team, the 34-year-old from Coquitlam, is in his 12th season. Over 400. This guy's going to be among the elite, the top 10 when he retires, but he's still got a lot of room left, averaging about 35 goals a season. He is just a pure shooter. He doesn't shoot hard, but he just picks corners. He is so fun to watch.
Talked to Brock Haley earlier this week, and he said it's a pleasure to play with what he called 4 future Hallers in terms of the guys on offense, including Church, Ryan Keenan, Zach Mans, and Austin Shanks.
Yeah, any one of these guys can light it up on any given night. That's why they're such a tough team to play.
And it will be a tough night for the Toronto Rock defense, who have been great of late, possibly because of the return of Nick Rose. He came back on that road trip, winning back-to-back. He's playing maybe better than he did before the injury.
Yeah, you know, when he got hurt, 5 or 6 weeks ago, and Holochuk came in and played so well, you know, a lot of people, including myself, thought maybe it's time Holochuk takes over the #1 role. But Rose came back and said, like, wait up, I'm still good, and he is. He played fantastic in Vancouver. He played great last week in Halifax, and has got a couple of wins, and is looking like his old self. And I agree with you. I think he's playing better now than he did at the start of the season.
Even Nick Rose himself admitted in our availability this week, he doesn't feel like he's the #1 goaltender week to week. It is and respectful competition between these two.
Well, remember, he was a goalie of the year just 2 years ago, so he's not far removed.
And with that, we send it down to Ashley Docking for the first time tonight.
Shanny, you mentioned it. Things have been tight with the Rush in their last 3 games. 1-goal games back, 1 and 2 is their record. Now, I talked to assistant coach Jeremy Talevi and said, are you concerned at all that you haven't been able to create that separation that we've seen even just a month ago? He said, that's the NLL, kid. We cannot assume anything is going to go our way on any given night. Now for the Toronto, Matt Sawyer says we have to be careful that the Rush don't speed us up. It's something that they want to do. We're playing Frank Chiliano. He's been as good as anybody these past couple of years, but we know that we can play with anybody as long as we come out at the top of our game, and this Rush team has not beat Toronto since December 16th, 2017.
Thank you, Ashley, and thank you to the 2 coaches. Frank Chiliano will be the starter tonight for the Saskatchewan Rush. His 11-2 record and just north of a 9 goals against average puts him amongst the top goaltenders in the league. And there is Nick Rose making his return for the first time since. And don't adjust your screens. That is the Rock Marvel piece. Spider-Man versus Venom theme. It is the darks and dark numbers going right in this opening period against the white and lime green of the Saskatchewan Rush.
Jake Naso wins the first face-off. They picked him up last year as a face-off specialist and has done a very good job. Load off of Mike Messenger.
Zach Mans, the 4th player from the outside off the post. He's going to bounce right back to the face-off. Restraining line nearly had one early on. Both teams telling us they want to start on time, as the Rush were chasing the game a little bit last week. Outside shot there from Ryan Keenan. Just 5 points in his last 2.
Well, despite their record, their great record, the Rush have had a lot of bad starts. They've got down on, even some weaker teams, 4 or 5 goals to start the game. Generally, they found ways to win it, but you got to start on time. Coach Keenan told me that earlier in the week when I spoke to him. They've got to start at 7:30 today.
Boucher bouncing around inside He'll take it down to the crease and score. Both officials wave it off for being in the crease. Kyle Krotman, Josh Hiltz, Sean Grenier on the floor with Jeremy Bailey working the shot clock.
Yeah, and Matt Sawyer's, yeah, that looks like his foot is on the crease as soon as he left. Matt Sawyer picked up his little iPad there and the same thing we just saw.
So no flag as Haley puts it to the far, turns it Zach Mans. All the way over the top of the set was Robert Church, who picks the corner. Early start for Church.
Out, and what a nice shot as he comes to the wrong side of the floor. As rifles that into the top right corner. The Church is such a tricky shooter. Sometimes he takes something off the shot. You know, to me, even looking at that, I thought he was going for the left corner. For that top right one, and that was in and out of net in a second.
A hat trick tonight will give the Rush 3 30-plus goal scorers. Ryan Keenan coming in with 31, Zach Mans with 31. By far his best season in the National Lacrosse League. Naso battling Nick Rowlett. The trade deadline picked up for the Rock. Scored a big goal for his first honor uniform in that Vancouver game. It was Messenger grabbing the loose ball to control the face-off, though.
And that was Shanks, another righty coming to the left side, taking it. You know, their elite shooters don't mind if they're not on their so-called the floor. They're going to shoot when they think they have an opportunity.
Challen Rogers passing it all the way back to the right. He's the superhero from last week. Eventually late in the clock, one did get off Chiliano, but the rebound didn't leave the crease. Mans has it again. Staring down Latrell Harris, waiting for the last Rush offensive player to take to the floor from the outside. A couple fakes. Looked like Oz joining the party late. And Latrell Harris up in transition, trying to bounce it past the net, though. Double team here with Hills and Harris. Harris going to come after this. Only 8 seconds to clear center. Jake Boudreau just in time. He'll get shoved down. Harris still up there, but Boudreau gets right back up, goes to the crease. Second chance, back-to-back saves for Nick Rose.
2 huge saves for Rose, and a real misplay by the Toronto Rock after some great defense. Triple teaming him. They left Boudreau wide open in front of Rose.
Second chance from Ryan Barnable in front of the crease. Rod back the other way, 10 to shoot. As they'll take it out from the far side. CJ Kurz ducks under the high defender. The shot. All-time stick check.
Good recovery. I can't see who made that play. Yeah, I think it was Bobby Kidd the third. Yeah, that was a beautiful play. It looked like CJ Kurz had gone around him, reached back for that stick check.
Here's Keenan into the middle. Church again. Rebound. Haley scores.
Well, the Rock have been leaving Rose out to dry a little bit. He had to make those 2 big saves just earlier on. Boudreau and the rebound. This time it's the first save on Church. But Haley picks up the rebound. Rose has no chance here as he's still down from the Church shot. And Haley wisely comes across to where there's more room to shoot at.
Saskatchewan goal scored by number 51.
Thing should
Assist to number 17, Robert Church. And number 51.
make Saskatchewan good about that starting on time thing. Though Matt Sawyer said he wanted to sit from Toronto. Actually said you can't rely by a score, just if you're getting the successes that you need. I don't think happy with the effort so far. The shot bounces off the end board back over half. Was whistled down despite you had Kelleher chasing it. Dowd.
That shot was a long shot, but it didn't miss by much.
Marks the outside. Hiltz to Rogers. Wheeled over the top, trying to shed his man. This has become almost his signature play, dropping the shoulder to create space. Off the crossbars. Matthews to recover to Hiltz. Isaiah Moran, weak spot of Dan Craig on the IR. Delayed penalty, Moran Weeks back to the crease. And no room in the 5-hole, holding the stick will be the first power play going to the Rock.
We got a stick on the floor, we got a red shoe on the floor. And the Rock will go to the power play. Who is that going to the box? Is that Boudreau?
I think so.
Saskatchewan calling number 30, holding the stick.
Connor McClellan.
Early lead for Saskatchewan, 2-0. Jimmy Quinlan's team with Rogers up top for the Rock. Here to Matthews. Much improved power play than the one that started the season. Matthews in the middle, quick shot from Bougie.
That somehow looked like it went through Chiliano, but not in the net.
It was enough to reset the shot clock. First walking it down towards the crease. Tipped off the stick there of Dowling. Boudreau picks up, 2-on-1, back the other way. Bouncer hits the post and goes up out of play. And despite the penalty, Robert Church, as we told you about off the top, is the guy for Saskatchewan right now. 2-0 Saskatchewan early.
An early 2-0 lead here at TD Coliseum for the visiting Saskatchewan Rush over the Toronto Rock. But take a look at this offensive riches that Toronto has had, particularly last game against Halifax, 9 goal scorers. But over the last 3 games, averaging 8 different goal scorers a game. So I asked Matt Sawyer, how are you able to facilitate this much? So many players being able to be successful. He said, obviously, Mark Matthews is somebody who is the quarterback type, and he draws a lot of attention, so it frees up space, he said. But it really comes down to our players recognizing the moment and stepping up when it's there for you. Not everyone is going to eat every night, but if you're doing everything right, dinner will be served eventually.
Looking forward to it, Ashley. Don't think we haven't forgotten the first game, trying all that food downstairs. None of it made its way up here.
Yeah.
Still a power play here for the Rock. Minute 14 left in that. Levi Anderson. He'll go one-on-one. Way high with Elijah Gash. Anderson over the top. He'll put it down the boards. Halfway through the shot clock now. Into the corner, a lot of movement from the righties. Comes back for Mans. First shot stuffed. Second one bounced off the boards, and it will go over and back. And the Rock power play will let it. 47 seconds remaining.
Well, the Rush were able to kill between that last shot that went off the post and into the crowd. They were able to kill almost a minute.
Matthews, the flip pass from Hiltz. My goodness.
That looked like an angry shot by Mark Matthews. It's almost the reverse of what we often see. Obviously, Matthews at the top, flipping it to Hiltz this time. Hiltz, they trade spots over the shoulder, and Matthews just zings it in that top right corner.
Well, whatever he's mad about, took it out on the back of the net. That was a shot with bad intentions. 18th of the season. Right on cue, as Ashley told us, he's the leader of this offense. Long-time Rush player himself. Rock back within 1 after scoring on the power play. Dowick and Rogers. They play catch. Far side, Isaiah Moran Weeks. Dowick back in through the middle on the run. Cursed. No shot. Not sure if that was a shot or a chance behind the net where Boucher was waiting. Either way goes errant, and McClellan will bring it up over center. CJ Cursed pointless for just the 3rd time in his career last game in Halifax. despite all those point getters that Ashley told you about. Here's Josh Jubenville off the Rose save. Rogers. And Dowick here. Long pass far side. Lots of space for Matthews. He'll return it to the captain. Now Jubenville's bouncer over top of the net. Him and Rogers trying to get it back. Over and back will be the call. Rush to take possession here. Keenan working it through. Big pile up in front of the crease as that was headed in back in Keenan's direction. Mans picks it up, goes behind the net. All the way up top, Brock Haley into Keenan. Shot off the foot of Rose, enough to reset the shot clock, but Latrell Harris going to pick up the loose ball. And immediately look down floor for Sam English. English waiting for the change to develop here. Kirst will put it outside Matthews. Spins off pressure. In the middle, English found a room to run. Is that caught by the glove of Chiliano?
I think Chiliano got a piece of it. Almost looked like he was going to bring it back in the net with him.
Matt Accioni to Anderson, up top Mans. Big shot, Rose up to meet it. Mans gets the rebound though.
Yeah, you don't want to give Mans that much room for a shot. That's another big save by Rose.
Rose called his former teammate a beauty. That sort of thing turned into a really good offensive player. Here's Harris giving it back to Bushi. Bushi spins back. No room to run, however. Good defense. Played, I believe that's McClellan again. Levi Verch sends it up through Hossack. Now Barnable. He'll stay on to take his turn on offense. Keenan with it. No Mans this time. As Keenan wheels to the top and scores. High defender Cree may provide a screen here, but 3-1 for Saskatchewan.
Well, Barnable, the defender, stayed on the floor there. He actually lost his stick, was calling for a penalty, but no need for a penalty when he set up the pick for Keenan to come around. Watch Barnable lose his stick there, is complaining, but he still picks it up, throws just enough interference to give Keenan a little bit of room to come around and get that shot away.
Saskatchewan goal scored by number 15, Ryan Keenan. Assist.
Keenan having his best season ever. He'll break his record for the most goals. Actually, his best season was 31 goals. This is his 32nd.
Barnable and Verch providing assists on that last goal. Accioni has a man off the bench from the far side. They crash in. Here's Mans again. Little side step. Shot that bounces off the end boards. Went straight back to Haley, who just dumped it in the corner with the shot clock winding down. Rock tied with Georgia. They're in action right now, leading 5-1.
Who are they playing against? Is it Ottawa or?
Dowick taking it to the crease. Halifax, that game in Georgia tonight. Isaiah Moran Weeks able to break free. Looked for the dunk, maybe inspired by March Madness. Here's Verch. Mans gets shoved out wide by Harris. One-on-one for now. Puts it back into the stick of Church. Rose matched that shot. Standing over top of the ball, Anderson. Rock still able to get it in the stick of Brad Cree. Here's Latrell Harris. 4 minutes left to go here in the period. Rogers high-stepping, one-on-one. Again, drop the shoulder. This time he'll pass it to Kirst. Gives to Hiltz. Owen Hiltz from distance. Juliano with the save again. Rush and a man in behind the defense. Accioni unable to get it there. So quickly off the bench, Austin Shanks, who went behind the net. Dump try.
Lowe's picked the right side to lean to. That's what the difficulty. Usually you don't know which side that guy behind the net is going to come out. Lowe's shut it down.
Here's Rogers, this time with help from a screen from Bushi. All the way up top. Little stutter step from Kirst. Turns back, under 10 left to shoot. Moran Weeks trying to open space. Ball pops free, double team. In behind Debussy again, the dunk try, and same result as Chiliano is standing tall right now. Although it's the big boys, as you would expect it to be. Mark Matthews for Toronto. Ryan Keenan, 2 points. As the Rush lead 3-1 here on the NLL on TSN+. The NLL's March to May is brought to you by STX Lacrosse and Nike Lacrosse, the official equipment providers of the NLL. And by TFL Sports. Collect the stars of the National Lacrosse League with officially licensed trading cards and sticker albums. And by StubHub, your home for tickets to the speed and intensity of the NLL. Back here in Hamilton, this is Jimmy Quinlan putting the clipboard away. His team up 3-1.
He's the reigning NLL Coach of the Year. There you see it. And I like that better, co-head coach, because Derek Keenan should actually be sharing that award with him. A lot of Sask fans in the house, and partly because a lot of these guys are from Ontario. But getting back to Quinlan, Derek Keenan, they're co-coaches, and yet the award was given to Jimmy Quinlan last year, and I think that was probably, I would guess that was probably something that Derek Keenan suggested. Right. Derek Keenan has won the Coach of the Year 4 times before, and really, he deserves it just as much last year, and I'm not taking anything away from Quinlan.
I want to call him one of the more intimidating coaches in the league in Keenan, but definitely one of the most class acts and nice guys as well. It has been behind the bench, off the bench, GM role, coach role. Basically has done it all for the Rush. And so we got a quick look at the Toronto bench.
Oh, the coaches apparently are having issues with their replay iPads. Call IT.
Gives us an extended hero cam here.
No, but you are
in-house.
You are right about Derek Keenan. I mean, he does look intimidating, that, but he's got a great sense of humor, and his players love playing for him. He left the bench for a few years just to be the GM, and he didn't really like that, and they really didn't perform well in those few years. I know there was a lot of they were rebuilding, but they do seem to play with a lot more confidence when he's on the bench.
Been part of a couple of those championship seasons. This Saskatchewan team,
at least
in the
winningest coach in NLL history.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look at the muscles on that guy.
Okay, that looks like Spider-Man. I don't know enough to go through the list here, but that one I think I've got. The Marvel comic book given out to fans entering the building. And the jerseys you see are available for auction, supporting some of the charities of the Toronto Rock, as well as the second quarter teddy bear toss. The first goal scored in the second quarter by the Rock will mean heads up for anybody down on the floor, including Ashley Docking, who can give us an update from down on the floor.
Yeah, a little bit of the delay down here because there's been some problems with the tablets for the coaching staffs on both sides. Obviously, that's going to impact their ability to challenge within the 30-second allotted time. So I'll keep an eye on it for you should anything controversial happen.
Turn it off, turn it back on. That's what
I was going to say the exact same thing. Plug it in, plug it out. Well, the shots on net, I think, are 17-10 for the Rush. sure the Rock would like to get more at Chiliano, but he's looked pretty good at most of them.
Here's Rogers. Back to Hiltz, who finds a spot from the low shot from outside.
You know, it feels funny saying it about a rookie in the NLL, but I feel like that's a classic Owen Hiltz goal.
Yes.
We've seen he likes to come across. When he catches that ball, he's got such a quick release. Look at this. And, you know, wrong side of the floor. It doesn't matter when you can shoot that hard that quickly. It's such an advantage to him that he doesn't need a big windup. He just releases it so quickly.
That first look, all the time and space that he was given. You know, these two teams did play in preseason when Hiltz was absolutely on fire. I think that was the game where he scored 4.
Oh, that's right.
This ball is going to work through Verch. Verch back to Mans. Rock within 1. We'll work it off the bench in the stick of Haley. Back over the top. And pick and roll worked to perfection, except for the put it in the back of the net part from Keenan.
Well, I'll tell you, that last time out, Bruce Codd was talking with his defense, and whatever he told him, he did. I'm sure he didn't like that a man was wide open again.
Far side, Moran Weeks, last one off the bench. Will give it into the corner. Matthews shrugging off pressure. Looked like there was room for Kurst. Couldn't get the ball there, though. Now passes back through the middle, and Bobby Kidd III did a great job there on Mark Matthews.
Well, Mark Matthews is a big guy. Was that Bobby Kidd covering him? I thought it was Messenger. He did a great job on him.
The 8 and the 3. Kind of merging together. Whoever it was, as you said,
he did a great job. And
Matthews a load. Here's Shanks to the far side. Robert Church shot, I think, blocked. Picked up here by Toronto. They've got 3-on-2 breakaway. English back to the crease. Faking high, going low is Hiltz, and down is Chiliano.
Oh my, I thought English should have taken that shot, but you know, it's not a bad option giving it to Hiltz on the crease.
Accioni leaves in favor of Keenan. Found a cutter backside. Haley might have been dragged down looking in the officials' direction. No call coming, allowing the Rock to run out. Jubenville to Harris, who stopped just inside of center. Rogers now. Little half-hearted double team as Rock still trying to get their personnel out on the floor. Rogers to Moran Weeks, 10 on the shot clock. Outside, he'll crash in. Matthews now in the corner. Moran Weeks missed initially, will cut back. Dives, and Chiliano stands his ground.
Chiliano runs now. With 10 seconds left in the quarter. They want that extra man on.
Zach Mans back towards the bench for Haley, in and out of his stick, and time going to expire before the quick stick try to Anderson. But it was the quick start that the Saskatchewan Rush wanted. They were up 3-1 most of that quarter, eventually leading 3-2 here after one. Superhero night here in Hamilton. Second quarter coming up. We'll be right back. Here in front of a good crowd in Hamilton. For more on a special fan, here's Ashley.
Brock Haley was a first overall draft pick in 2023 by the Vancouver Warriors. He was traded to Sask and hasn't looked back. But as you mentioned, his grandma, Nanny Pauline, a.k.a., is here watching him play an NLL game for the very first time in his career. And what a treat to have any of your grandparents around to see you live out your dreams. He has a goal here tonight, and he's not new to that. 105 goals in Junior A playing for Whitby. But he said his rookie year, he tried to replicate some of that ball carrying that he did when he was a little bit younger. The coaches still want that from him, but they needed a guy who was able to bang in the middle, set picks, which is new for him. He said, I was a lot smaller last year, so it's been easier for me to move guys around this year. I have a little bit more cushion, a little bit better padding.
Thank you, Ashley.
He had over 70 goals his last year at Junior A. That year that they won the Minto Cup, 2022, I believe. The Whitby Warriors.
And that's always an adjustment for guys when they come out of junior. You were the guy, and now you're
one of the guys
down the depth chart some.
That's right, yeah, secondary.
Adjusted pretty good. So is CJ cursed to life in the NLL as his bouncer will release the Teddies.
Oh, that didn't take long. I saw a game earlier in the season when I think it took 10 minutes before the home team scored the goal for the Teddy Bears.
How about 28 seconds for CJ Kirst to spark chaos here at TD Coliseum?
Yeah, he was held goalless last week. You know, we've been getting used to him scoring 2 or 3 a game. Leads all rookies in scoring, and he gets a nice twister shot away on this one.
Even Iron Man in. Thought he was going to help out. I don't know that that's helping, but
we got Billy Holstrauser out there cleaning up. Watch the shot. A little bit of a twister and between the legs. That's a nice shot. It's his 28th goal of the season. Look at you've got all the staff out there picking them up, plus Billy Holstrauser from the Toronto Rock.
I did wonder if I could hit the floor from here. Didn't bring a teddy bear to try it out, but teddy bear toss.
I think you could.
In support of the long-standing charity partner of the Rock Smile Zone Foundation. Proceeds from bear sales going to Smile Zone along with the Bears themselves. Donated 2 centers previously supported by Smile Zone projects in Hamilton, including the Linwood Carleton Center in Hamilton and the Hamilton Child and Family Supports here in Hamilton as well. Rock supporting some good local charities in their return here to TD Coliseum. Remember last year, the little road trip detour through Mississauga. Teddy Bears are still coming.
Yeah. What are you waiting for, friends? We're going to throw it now.
Here's some oohs and ahs. I think, are we trying to get one from, wondered if we were trying to get one from up in one of the higher rows, perhaps, but
1 or 2 got stuck between.
Oh, we got something in the netting.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Not going to influence the game. Bonus points if you can knock him free. Does that count as a loose ball? We are back underway after the cleanup. And Sam English will pick up a loose ball.
Oh, and a steal.
After CJ Kirst tied things up. Here's Matt Hossack.
Matt Hossack
taking over.
Stole that ball. I think it was from Dalwick. Didn't see him come from behind.
Shank selected not to shoot. A little give and go try. Return play missed. Here's Josh Jackson, the trade deadline pickup of the Rock.
I think he scored a goal. Was it last week? Or I think he scored a goal last week.
Did score on that road trip. Here's Matthews. To the outside, Dalwick into the corner for Boucher again. Boucher to Matthews. So far, the ball staying outside. Oh boy, Boucher ripped it there. A couple players behind the net had to be careful. Messenger, a one-handed pickup to send it down for 2-on-1. Boudreau sets the screen. Man shoots it off the crossbar. Boudreau back up top. Offensive unit getting out there now with Shanks wheeling towards the corner. And Robert Church had to wait for Mans to break free of Harris. Again, Mans was looking for a call, none coming as the shot hits off the back of Elijah Gash, who's going to chase it down. Gash probably makes the right decision, holding up
Oh boy.
What a pick from Boucher.
That was kind of a dangerous pass in a crowded area. Boucher did a good job to grab it. Somebody's stick is down the floor.
It's a Rock player that had gone to the bench as Matthews took his spot in and out of the stick of Curse. The twister works again.
Oh my gosh.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Coming off a pointless game last week. How about back-to-back goals to give the Rock the lead?
Almost more of a backhand than a twister, and I thought it was a great shot, but it didn't look like it was going in. I think it somehow squeezes through eventually. Look at that. He loses the ball. And yeah, I don't know how that went in. I want to see it from this angle. See how the ball pops out, he picks it up again, went between the legs, and I guess it just had enough momentum to squeeze between the stick of Chiliano. And one of the things about Kerf's game, which is hard to defend, is that he is so good one-on-one. You know, making opportunities where it doesn't appear there's an opportunity there.
Did have 2 assists last week. Goalless for the 3rd time in his rookie campaign. Bouncer off Rosie. And back to the restraining line, but a fresh 30 seconds here for the Rush, who trail for the first time in the game. Church way outside. Anderson on the run. Not sure that Rose was ready for that shot, but cut the angle down to make sure he made the save anyways. Jackson now. 3 minutes gone here in the second quarter. Kirst will work it through Boucher. Far side, Dawick to Kirst again. Dawick with room to shoot. Fired it wide, just a little off top spot. Little basket catch there from Rogers. Quick stick far side. Everyone else had gone for a change already though, so easy loose ball here for the Rush. Trell Harris forcing the issue, went after Verch, who threw it away. Lucas Hukel trying to push it back there to English.
Look at that, Chiliano, 10th all-time in NLL saves after making a couple of saves on the Rock players' last few minutes.
Only needed 11 coming in to pass Steve Dietrich. 5,515. Here's Jubenville back to the trailing Boucher. Return pass doesn't work.
Yeah, I think Jubenville was on the wrong side of the floor to get that return pass. He can't quick stick it.
Shanks was down on defense, brings it back for the shot. Now Billy Hochstrasser, after performing housekeeping duties, will now give to Boucher. Head off, Boucher to Kirst. Kirst spinning back. No natural hat trick this time. Chases down the loose ball though, but time was running out on the shot clock. Everybody else vacates. Hossack gets his own rebound. The shot there. Cross crease pass, unable to go.
Rosie's had to make multiple saves a number of times.
Big scrum. The ball did get itself free of.
I think the last 2 players had to be told by the referee that the ball's long gone.
Keenan in there behind the net. It's Hiltz. Moran Weeks setting the screen. Popped the stick out of the hands of the defender Messenger. And they were going right back there with the ball, but it came out illegally as Isaiah Moran Weeks will head to the penalty box. CJ Kirst, could he be the hero tonight? We'll find out after this.
This is the moment you waited all week for. The March to May is heating up. Whether you're at home or out on the town, it all starts here.
No, he didn't!
Warriors. The NLL returns to TSN in Week 19.
Back here in Hamilton, and we look back a couple years at a trade, off-season trade that brought Mark Matthews to Toronto. 171 points now in 35 games. Look what Zach Mans has done with a fresh scenery out in Saskatchewan. Adam Jay also went that way, and the pick that turned into Levi Anderson.
Yeah, you know, I don't think anybody was really surprised that Zach Mans has turned into the player that he has. And I don't think anybody from Toronto is complaining about that trade. Mark Matthews has been great for the Toronto Rock, even though he was injured last year. Yeah, I think Moran Weeks pulls 2 sticks down and gets caught on the second one. You see, it just puts his arm over, catches that one in his underarm, and with 2 sticks on the floor, I think the referee thought he should call it. But yeah, getting back to that trade, I do think in the long run, you know, with Zach Mans only 27 years old, they got to love that trade.
Yeah, looking at it now, even with Levi Anderson turning into that first-round pick.
Yeah, they really haven't played Levi Anderson a lot, but he could develop to be a great player. Adam Jay is a very steady defender, but let's not forget Mark Matthews, over 1,100 career points, championships, MVP, and is leading this team in scoring. So there's nothing for the Rock to complain about what he's done when he's been healthy with the Rock.
Brock Haley on the doorstep of Nick Rose. Of course, the missed season last year. In the left side of the floor, I mean, it was kind of an issue for a while there for the Rock. I know Corey Small was here for a little bit. Dan Craig. Zach Mans was even part of that conversation, but Matthews really shoring it up when he came to town. Over the shoulder for Rogers.
Nice save by Messenger. It looked like he was just out to save his face. Last week, Halifax was 4 for 4 on a power play against the Toronto Rock, so they didn't like those results.
And now coming in against the team that leads the league, coming into the week, give him 35 now on the season with Robert Church.
Church opened the scoring for the Rush, and then he gets the latest one here after a string of 3 Toronto goals. And again, let's watch his shot. I just love watching his shot. It's just, you know, it's always an overhand shot, but you can never tell. He's so good at fooling where that ball is going to go. You know, his first goal, top right corner. This time he goes the opposite side. I did ask Nick Rose earlier in the week, like, are there certain guys that you tell your team not to let shoot? You know, and I've played with goalies that, you know, sometimes they just circle a guy on the other team and say, let everybody shoot but this guy. You know, when we're talking about a guy like John Tavares or Darius Kilgore back in the day. But Rose said it's too difficult to, you know, try to do that. You can end up messing things up because there's too many dangerous shooters. You don't want to give the other guys too much.
Right. Not just on this team, but throughout the league.
Throughout the league,
he said it. You know, every night you look at the schedule, how are we playing a better team than last week? Mans working it over for Ryan Keenan, who's got 3 points tonight after just 5 in his last 2. Midway mark of the second quarter, and a tie game between these two teams. Kirst.
Each team has 1 power play goal.
On one opportunity, Matthews Kirst again through the middle. Debussy in the corner. Drops his shoulder. Gets pushed up top. And little flip pass from Matthews. Oh, long range shot. Rogers trying desperately to save the shot.
The ball looked like it got stuck in Bushi's stick. Went wide by 10 feet.
Church. Looks off the bench. For the freshman Keenan, it bounces right in front of Shanks. English will pick up. English and Harris headed for the bench, giving Kirst an opportunity to put it to the far side for Bushi. CJ Kirst has it again. Hiltz circling the net, as was Dowick. Bounced away from Rogers and into the streaking Levi Virch. He'll pass back to Accioni.
Oh, nice defensive play. Who was that on Toronto?
English was in front of the net. Rogers came away with the ball.
Yeah.
And Lucas Hukel in the vicinity as well.
I think that was Hugh Keller that got his stick in front of that pass.
Bushi, Matthews, Kirst outside. Got it past the leaping defender. The twist shot from Bushi coming out from behind the net.
And I think Kirst fooled everybody on that pass. The only problem was that Moran Weeks was on the wrong side of the floor, could not quick stick it.
Osick the flip pass. First time calling Josh Sawada's name tonight. Keenan back in his direction to the far side. Anderson behind the net. Mans looking to dive out.
Oh man, fakes the one side, comes across the other side. Nice save by Rose.
Josh Jubinville, credit for the defensive effort as well. Down in the corner here, Matthews again. To Hiltz, tries that low shot on the run again. That time into the stick of Chiliano, who immediately looks down floor to Accioni.
No, that pass was on a rope to Accioni.
Got a man coming off the bench in Church. Again, they work it to Haley. Wrong side off the shoulder of Rose. Picked up by Gash. Little pirouette before he heads off in transition. Bench want him to slow things down, as they've got Latrell Harris coming off in behind. Here's Moran Weeks. Big high step before he got to the corner. 10 left to shoot. Dowick to Rogers, one-on-one up top. Flip pass. Kirst was already on the run. Recovered. Got it off just in time. Beat the shot clock. Rogers, well, getting hit. Gets it in the stick of Kirst. Little change of possession. Not going to be needed. Kirst. Natural hat trick.
Well, not only does he get this goal, but he is the one that earned that reset. Getting a shot with just a couple seconds left in the shot clock. I believe it was him who went in the corner, got the loose ball. And a couple of fakes, then he realizes I could shoot from here. And he does it, he puts it in. Just a nice goal from some hard work. Getting that reset, getting another loose ball, and then getting that great shot.
Fifth hat trick of the season for Kirst. There was that Church goal thrown in there as well to tie things up for 4. From Rogers, who's got 4 assists here in the game off the 5 Rock goals. Ball down, look out. Big head of steam, and English takes the whole pile down. Ball back to the crease of Rose. Trail Harris in through Rogers. Bushi on the run off the stick of Challen Rogers. Nearly shed his defender, taking on all comers. Eventually the shot wide. Osick waiting for the offense. Shanks to oblige. Anderson back up top. Keenan, now Shanks again. No shooting lane. Under 10 to let one go. And put it behind the net with Mans. Back out to Keenan again and stuffed by Elijah Gash. Couple shot clocks now from both sides as the defense start to dig in their heels. Rush defense, though, having to deal with this guy. CJ Curtis give the Rock the lead. Back here in Hamilton, 5-4 Rock lead, and it was all Rock last time between these two teams. 11-8 was the final, but Brian, it was a lot more Toronto that night than the score shows.
You know what? That's a flattering score for Saskatchewan. They didn't enjoy that game at all, and that was when Toronto was having a terrible season last year with all the injuries. And it's funny, I talked to Coach Keenan this week, and he said, when they come to Toronto, it's just like they say in hockey, like all these guys are from Ontario, they contact their families, they're trying to get tickets. So this year, after the Rush finished their game last week against San Diego, Saskatchewan, in the dressing room, he said to the guys, you got to get tickets, you got business to take care of, get it done early, because on Thursday we're all business.
Came out looking like that. A lot of Whitby, kind of Oshawa representation as well. I was looking at the schedule thinking, maybe they saved the tickets for when they go out that way. Didn't do it this season. Their one matchup happened in Saskatchewan.
Oh, so they're not playing Oshawa in Oshawa this year, right?
I believe so. Just the one time out.
But you are right.
Yes.
A lot of the players on this Rush team, including Derek Keenan, coaching staff, have a lot of Whitby lacrosse roots.
Top Anderson returns it back to Church. Church through the middle. That shot just missed over the top of Rose. Sam English to bring it down. Him and Harris off running. Facing Keenan, who's back on defense. Number of Whitby Warriors represented, Mark Matthews included.
A number of Man Cup champions with Whitby.
Back towards the crease, and through the crease was Hiltz.
Yeah, I think Ryan Keenan, Austin Shanks, we talked about Brock Haley. I think Matthews was on one of those Whitby teams that won a Minto. Two of these guys won Mintos in Coquitlam as well, including Church, and I believe Matthews.
Shanks the return pass. Got a couple presidents to his name, if I'm not mistaken. Down in the corner, Anderson, kind of where he arrived. Last time it was in Oakville. Shot from Zawada hit a defender's leg. Back here to English, big high step. He'll cut back, nifty move. Shot there though, Chiliano another save. Been really good in this first half, which is down to its final minute. Levi Birch leaving it here for Shanks, gets pushed all the way back to the restraining line and then down by Harris.
Not the first time we've seen Latrell Harris knocking somebody down this year.
Him and Elijah Gash playing anything you can do, I can do better.
I don't know if there's anybody in the league who can match up body for body against those guys.
Here's Matthews, added more size with Josh Jackson. On the doorstep, Boucher all alone.
Well, I don't know if I've seen a player in the NLL who gets called more for crease than Boucher, because I know we're going to see if those tablets are working. But I mean, I think if you're Rush, you might as well throw the flag anyhow. So what if you lose your timeout now?
Only 15 seconds remaining,
I'm trying to look at it. It does look like they are looking at a tablet, so they are seeing something. But I think it's a good goal.
Fans of the Rock know his superpower is the ability to fly.
Scores a lot of goals in the air, and I think the Rush staff agree with us. That's a good goal.
Pushes the lead to 2.
And a huge face-off win for Nick Rowlett.
And you can see the guys going over to congratulate him as well. He is definitely fit in.
Yeah, big pickup. I think that first game we did with him, he wasn't so great. I don't think he even got to practice with him before that game. But since then, I've been looking at the stats, and he has done quite well, just under 50% winning face-offs.
Shalyn Rogers with 5 points here in the first half, 5 assists off of 6 goals. Coming up at the game halftime, we will have the game interview with Ashley Docking, first half highlights. How about a little playoff preview? It is the March to May, of course, here in the NLL. Some time to go before we get to the final stretch, but I mean, after this one, only 4 games remaining for the Rock, just 1 here at home. There will be 3 more, including a bye week for Saskatchewan. All of those will be in Saskatoon, Buffalo, Colorado, Toronto. That could be a massive one between these 2 teams in the final week of the regular season. Nick Rose will be on the bench for the final 11.3 seconds. Here, Rock trying to push it to a 3-goal lead, headed to the locker rooms. Shalyn Rogers, Matthews, Hiltz, Kirst, Bushi, and Dowick. Dowick has it now, the outside grip. Took Chiliano a little bit to rein it in, but that net was gaping at the other end. Looks like Matthews shaking his head a little bit. Not sure if that was the look.
Well, a great quarter for the Rock, outscoring Saskatchewan 4-1 after they were down 3-2 after the first quarter. We got a lot of game left in this one.
It has been C.J. Kirst with the hat trick there in that second quarter. Has provided the offensive spark after going goalless last week. And he is standing by with Ashley Docking for the game interview.
Thanks, Matt. CJ, big first half for you. You have the hat trick already. I've noticed a number of times you guys have been running your offense late into that shot clock. Is that methodical execution part of the plan?
No, I'd say we're just trying to take what we get. You know, we're not really trying to let the game come to us too much. We're just trying to go out there one step at a time, make a play. And yeah, it's been late in the shot clock, which hopefully we can correct and get going a little bit earlier as we go into the second half. But we'll see what happens. We'll talk over and hopefully correct that.
Fellow rookie Owen Hiltz has this wicked signature shot where he comes around the top screaming and just lets it fly. What's it like to watch him go to work, somebody who might be unassuming but is dangerous?
Yeah, no, Hiltz, he's the man. He's been my best friend ever since he joined the team. Same with Huey, and you know, I just love playing with him, love hanging out with him on the weekends, and you know, it's just great being on the left side together, learning a lot, and yeah, hopefully we can keep it going and be successful in the second half here.
Thanks, CJ. Good luck.
Thank you.
C.J. Kirst, half of the Rock goals, including 3 out of 4 in that second quarter. It's the game halftime here in Hamilton. We'll be back after a break. Rock lead 6-4. It's the game halftime here at TD Coliseum in Hamilton between the Toronto Rock and Saskatchewan Rush, a 6-4 lead for the Rock here after a half hour of play. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside Brian Shanahan up here in our booth, and seems like when the Rock need big goals, sometimes they go to the veterans, sometimes they go to the young guns. Tonight it's the rookie and C.J. Kirst with a hat trick, all of them coming in that second quarter.
Yeah, well, they were down 3-1. It seemed like the longest time, and then Hiltz scores a goal, the rookie Hiltz, and then the rookie Kirst scores one here to tie it up 3-3, and then he goes on a bit of a run. This is a really nice one, like a backhand twister. That made it 4-3 for the Rock. After it was 4-4, he worked hard to get a loose ball, gets up top, gets his third goal a game, and that made it 5-4 at the time. They got another one to make it 6-4.
Guy we didn't talk about off the top in C.J. Kirst, but to a guy that we did, and we mentioned in Robert Church. I think no surprise that he scores 2 in that first quarter and really stirring the offense here again for Saskatchewan tonight.
Yeah, and it just took a minute 27 into the game for him to get his first goal. And we talked about what an elite shooter he is, and you see that one. Rips it into the top right corner. But then later on the power play when they needed a goal, he goes to the other corner. He is just such a tricky shooter, shoots at every corner, bounce shots, 5-hole. It's tough for a goalie to stop.
30-23 shots you see there as well. Face-offs a lot more even than they have been in recent games. Power play even, 1-for-1 turnovers as well. About as tight a matchup as you can get between two of the top teams in the league.
Absolutely.
Again, the Rock trying to pick up a win here to move up in the standings. Saskatchewan trying to stay there. We'll be back. Welcome back to Hamilton and the game. Halftime. It's time for the kids to take to the floor after the big boys of the Rock leading 6-4 over Saskatchewan. Once again, I'm Matthew Carrick alongside Brian Shanahan, and it is the March to May here in the National Lacrosse League, so we thought we would check out a bit of a playoff preview if the season were to end today, which of course it is not. Still 4 more weeks left to go and a lot of movers and shakers, but Saskatchewan, the lone team that has clinched in the NLL standings so far. Vancouver and Colorado with a chance with wins this weekend can clinch as well. Philadelphia can also be the lone team to be eliminated after this week, but I mean, it's tight. It is as tight as you can get. Basically need to win whatever you're going to win if you want to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, and we see, you know, Toronto's battling with Georgia for that 4th spot. Georgia has the tiebreaker between those two, and we hear Georgia's winning big time right now. I think 11-4 at halftime. But yeah, this is so interesting. I think Vancouver actually, even though Sask has the best record, Vancouver is the team that scares me, despite the fact that the Rock controlled them pretty good. For the most part, they've been consistently the most dangerous team. They've got one of the best goalies in the NLL with Christian Del Bianco, and great defense, some great scoring. Curtis Dixon looks like he's 28 years old. Keegan Ball is the leading scorer in the NLL. It's been a while since we see guys jumping ahead of Teton Dane Smith. So yeah, I think this Vancouver team is poised to finish in first place.
They were good for a few years. They were just, the record didn't show it. And I think that Del Bianco trade, you know, there was the little holdout situation. He gets traded from Calgary. Nick Rose traded from here to Calgary. You know, that kind of started this run for them. And then Kurt Malosky putting in work in the offseason to rebuild that
that's what
offense.
I was just going to say. Don't forget Kurt Malosky. He's one of the most respected coaches in the NLL. He's won it before with Calgary, and the players play for him. He demands it, and they do it.
I think Vancouver, a team that nobody wants to play in the postseason. If it ended today, though, they would play, I believe, Buffalo. Here are the scenarios for you. Saskatchewan in. Colorado can clinch with a win tonight. Tomorrow. Vancouver with a win versus Ottawa, or 2 losses. Halifax, which are down today, then they would need help from San Diego. They are playing Ottawa this evening at 10 p.m. on TSN+, ESPN+, and NLL+. Quarterfinals start the weekend of April 24th to 26th.
Yeah, and the other team I don't think anyone wants to play is Buffalo after a 3-time championship. They're starting to play well lately.
Well, it could be Vancouver-Buffalo if it ended today as that first round matchup. A lot more to do before we get there. A lot more lacrosse to play before the end of this one. We'll be back to Hamilton shortly. Getting set for second half action here in Hamilton, where the Rock leads 6-4. Take a look around the NLL. We told you before, Georgia up big, 11-4 on Halifax. That's the team the Toronto Rock are tied with in the standings. Coming up tonight, Vancouver hosting Ottawa at 10 p.m. And then in terms of matchups, in terms of playoff scenarios and seedings, a lot can be decided tomorrow with 3 games for your enjoyment on ESPN+, TSN+, and NLL+. Nick Rose, Frank Chiliano. Pretty good first halves for both of them. 6 goals off 23 shots for the Rock, 4 off 30 for Saskatchewan, who had the 3-1 lead. Rock then able to turn it around thanks to the CJ Kirst hat trick.
And the Rush, you know, one of the things they wanted to do is start the game on time, and they did. They had a great first quarter. Second quarter, not as good. We'll see what they have in the second half, but overall, they've had pretty good second halves.
Not sure if it was the first or second media timeout. We could pick up the audio from the bench, and Dan Dawson was giving it to his offense in that timeout, and they responded in the second, scoring 4 goals in the quarter. Bushi ball in and out of the stick as he came across the top of the set. 5 left to let one go, and look for Dawick crossing through the crease. And he gets called for being in there. Matt Accioni, one of the groups mentioned on the board was the Accioni family, so I'm sure there's a good Barrie representation here tonight, as we suspected from Whitby, Oshawa. Keenan in towards the corner, up top. Haley's shot finds the mark. Brock Haley's second of the game.
Excellent shot by Brock Haley. And you know, when I spoke to him earlier in the week, I said, you know, he scored 70 goals his last junior season. I said, like, did the coaches say you've got to be patient here? You're not going to get the same shots? He goes, no, they want me to shoot as much as possible. And he does. And so they don't want him to defer to others. They know he's got a great shot. Anybody could put 70 goals. And, you know, the OJ is an elite shooter. And he just shows it there, opening the second half for the Saskatchewan Rush.
Said everybody on the offense, and he did say we are all top-notch players, kind of including himself in that conversation. Anybody could go off any night. So far, Church with 2, Haley with 2. Ryan Keenan with the other one, as expected. Zach Mans, though, yet the only one off that board we showed you off the top. Get to put one in, Keenan and Shanks, who missed through the middle. Here's Keenan to Shanks, and second time he's going to miss the pass. Only had 2 assists in that game last year, the 11-8 Rock win. Going to play a high set here, looking for the turnover. Ripped it away from English. Barnable to the trailing Boudreau, who was on his correct side. And
really nice play. Barnable and Boudreau, 2 defensive players that probably played offense their whole minor careers. That's, you know, I was asking Keenan, how is this team similar to the championship teams he had a while ago? And he says the defense is just as good. He said not as big, but as skilled and talented and as fast. No Ian Rubles out there. I mean, and that was the difference back then. You had guys like Ian Rubles and Chris Corbeil that were not only talented, but huge.
Kyle Rubish was winning Defender of the Year every year. Bouncer coming through. After CJ Kurtz was taken down, got up a little bit awkwardly. We'll see him go to the bench here. Still a little slow. Going to take this offensive set off. Dawick on Isaiah Moran Weeks. Outside for Matthews. Somehow found Bushi in a pile of defenders. Although Shiliano there to stop the shot.
Matthews is so good at that one-handed pass.
Anderson from outside through Zawada into the corner. Back to Anderson. He'll put it up top. Little quick shot from Zawada. Goes over top of everything and goes for the over and back. 3 minutes gone here in the second half. Rush pull it back within 1. Matthews. Dawick Rogers. Quickly to the far side. Shalin Rogers thought he had a lane to the crease. Actually taken away by Levi Birch. Ball back the other way. Another odd man rush. And another save out of Nick Rose.
Rose has made some great saves.
Here's Sam English. To Hiltz in the corner. Kind of looked like a no-look pass. Got between 2 Rock players. English there to pick up now with 10 on the shot clock. Round a screen from Bushi all the way to the net. And a well-timed stick check from Bobby Kidd III means there's no shot.
And Bobby Kidd III has been sneaky good this game. He's been beat a few times, and he still gets that stick check in.
Mans. Church off the bench to the outside. Gives it back to Mans in the corner. Keenan all alone with Church. And you cannot leave him untouched at that spot on the floor.
Yeah, it looks like he just had his hands open for a second. Caught that ball and took the quick shot. And the Rush, gotta love the start they have. Let's look for Church in the middle. It just pops open for a second. Gets his hands free. Keenan's looking for him. He knows he's trying to get open, and as soon as his hands are free, that ball's in his stick, and then in the net a second later.
Fifth time he's completed a hat trick on the year as he discusses with Jimmy Quinlan and the offense. Tied for the third time in the game. Barnable taking a couple offensive shifts after that rush out in transition. Can be brought all the way up top, and Latrell Harris claims another victim. Down to Hugh Kelleher, who spins and fires. Bounce just wide. Fans still buzzing from the latest hit from Latrell Harris. Focused of the latest Rock City Unplugged documentary, the relationship between him and his new son. Here's bobblehead. Here's Mark Matthews trying to come through. That's Messenger getting in the way. Outlet pass. Rogers down with the Rush player who was breaking out, Accioni.
Rogers did well to wrap him up without taking a penalty.
It was Jake Boudreau. Sawada to the outside, bringing it back in under 10 for Keenan to shoot. Rock aren't going to let him, and then when they do, 5-hole covered up by Rose. Nearly 6 minutes gone here in the quarter. Bushi. Like Dowlick wanted to set the screen. Bushi will wait for Matthews to come off the bench. Outside Kirst. Big swim move to Hiltz on the run. Stop before he could get his best shot away, and then Bushi cleanup duty and the goal.
Bushi shows great patience here as he picks up the rebound and takes his time. Have a look at this. Who takes this outside shot? Hiltz takes the shot. Bushi comes in and gets it, and just patience as he straddles outside the crease. Holds it just long enough till he finds an opening. Eventually, Chiliano has to make that move, and Bushi puts it in an empty net.
And you're right, the tendency would be to just pick up and fire, especially with position Chiliano was in, but the fake ends up creating perhaps more space, and the Rock lead again. You get the sense we're going to go back and forth all night here. Big high step from Haley, despite the fact that in the second half, the Rush have a plus 24 goal differential. Rock coming in even. Shot there from Shanks, can't beat the shot clock. And it is the Rock leading 7-6, led by their offense, but their defense putting in work tonight as well. Latrell Harris for the second time.
This is the moment you waited all week for. The March to May is heating up. Whether you're at home or out on the town, it all starts here.
No, he didn't!
Warriors. Bandits.
Oh, what a move!
The NLL returns to TSN in Week 19.
With the 27th selection in the 2019 entry draft, the Toronto Rock have selected Zach Manns from Victoria Junior A.
From baby shark to certified big dog in the NLL, the 2024 trade from Toronto to Saskatchewan saw Zach Manns have an immediate 48-point bump in production, and he hasn't slowed down since. I asked Nick Rose about his former teammate, and he said sometimes you just need a fresh start, a change of scenery, and everything works well. Zach has taken the ball and ran with it. He's a BC boy. He's closer to friends and family, and now he's one of their best players. I said, that athleticism that he has, like, when did you know he had that bounce? He said, listen, in COVID, our house had underground basketball games and we saw him flying around. He could dunk. The rest of us could not.
I'm sure Nick Rose could dunk as well.
Thank you for that, Ashley Matthews. Outside as we're back underway here in this 7-6 ball game.
And Zach Manns is only 27 years old too.
Right. I mean, we showed the trade. It just, every time you go back to that, it just looks even better for Saskatchewan. Bouncer goes off a defender, back to the crease, and into the back of the net.
And Moran Weeks, who just hustles, you know, there's not always something to show for it, but he has been something the coaches really like, putting him in the lineup when he gets a chance or when they need him, and he just hustles, and finally he gets rewarded for it. And then, yeah, that went off the defender's stick. I don't know if that was Messenger. I believe it was Messenger. It went off his stick and right to Moran Weeks. I think that's his second goal of his career.
Scored in his debut. Gets a big cheer as he's announced as the goal scorer, and you said it right off the start of the analysis of that goal was the hard work, and that's why the Rock love him, not just on the practice roster, but has slotted in a few times now with injuries on the left side. Dean into a trailer, Rock stretching it out to a 2-goal lead.
Oh, great play by Kelleher.
Down to English, crossing through the crease, it's Hiltz. And you're right, Brian, this starts all the way back in the defensive end.
Yeah, that starts from the play by Kelleher, but the rush looks far too casual on Hiltz. I know they're looking to see if he was in the crease or not. I don't think he was, but it starts with a block. Kelleher gets that ball and moves it up to the floor. That's English who has the ball here, and suddenly he just sees, yeah, like Hiltz is open. He was looking for the trailer. And let's have a look here. Looks like that's all airborne. I think that's going to be a good goal, and yeah, it doesn't look like that. Coaches are throwing any flag. But it was a 3-on-2 play, and you know, suddenly the Saskatchewan defender sort of moved up, and Hiltz is not the guy you want to give that much room to.
No. His second of the game. After 10 Rock players registered points last week, there's now 8 with points here in this game, including 5 goal scorers, combining for 9 goals. Takedown in behind the Saskatchewan crease. Dragged back in by Messenger. Haley to the far side, returning it back. Anderson, a little stutter step. Still no room to shoot, though, as they come back for Shanks, who just missed. Excuse me, Brad Cree leading the counterattack with Sam English. Shot off the left arm of Chiliano. Recovered initially by Matthews, then all the way back across to Bushi. 6 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Rock with their biggest lead of the game, 9-6. Out from the boards. Matthews had to pull it down, but eventually got the pass to Rogers off the boards. Bushi fell through the middle. Keep it down low. Look at all the time and space Mark Matthews has. Well, doesn't miss from there very often, but Chiliano a big save. Rocks still have it though. Rogers, little flip behind his back. Bushi was all tied up. Couldn't capitalize, and Rogers will be stuck out there. Not that that's an issue.
No, I was going to say, I don't know if stuck is the right word for Rogers.
Played out both doors last year.
I feel like he could play the whole game.
Here's Keenan. Flips it to Mans. Off the end boards. About the only thing he hasn't done over the years is put the goalie pads on.
And look,
Trell Harris waiting up the shot
play. He wanted to wait till his whole team was on the floor. Didn't want to get that ball too early.
Hiltz down the boards. Cursed. They'll give it back to Owen Hiltz. 1 and 3. Most recent entry draft. Here's Dowick. Down low. Back in front to Bushi. I think he's got a career about 1 meter away from the crease if you add up all the goals he's scored, but he's got a new offensive weapon in number 88, Isaiah Moran-Weeks, the hard worker. Rock up by 3. We'll be back. Back here in Hamilton, the party is on. Rock lead by 3 with about 20 minutes left to go, and Nick Rose playing his first home game since December 27th.
And he's already faced 35 shots, 29 saves on the night, and a number of times he's had to make multiple saves within seconds. You know, the big shots, he has to make the save and the rebound, and you know what? He's been almost perfect when guys have been behind the net. I don't want to jinx him, but a number of times guys have taken the attempt at a dunk, and he's stopping them.
And it was the big start from Saskatchewan. They led 3-1 at the 9-minute 23-second mark. Chiliano with a pad issue, getting help from Josh Hiltz.
Every time I see a pad issue, I wonder if that's an unofficial timeout. I'm not.
It sounds like a goalie dad to me.
Yeah.
Since that 9:23 mark, just 3 goals, and the last one coming 4 minutes and 22 seconds into this period, as now the wave starts to go through TD Coliseum. Told you, it feels like a party-like atmosphere here tonight.
I don't know the exact numbers, but it seems pretty packed.
Near side, Keenan. Low shot, Church. Add another one to the Nick Rose highlight pack. As you can see, the nearly packed lower bowl. Just one more chance at home. That'll be April the 4th against San Diego. Somewhere Cardi B is jealous. Outside, Cursed.
I'm actually impressed I understand that reference.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Well done.
I don't know if our fans at home do. Cardi B was complaining that her concerts were sold out all over North America, except for Hamilton.
Except here, yes.
Yeah. Well, they saved their money for the Rock tickets.
Those fans getting a treat tonight. Under 10 left in the Rush shot clock. A wild one from Haley. Even a quick whistle there. Kelleher playing it back, and Jackson with pressure arriving on scene. He may pick up the loose ball. Does, plays it back to Kelleher. Basically,
great play. Got the scoring chance, then got the ball back.
We're going to say 3 defenders out on offense, and then Hiltz.
Boy. Stick check by somebody.
Looks like Connor McClellan as he heads off.
I think it was Connor McClellan, but yeah, Hiltz was just walking around 3 guys.
Macchione's shot. Nearly another chance for Keenan. on the doorstep, and the Rock do come away with the loose ball. Bring it up over center, under 3 to play here in the quarter.
That's a really good job by Hostrauser, like the tough guy, good defender, and he ran out with a guy all over him, protected that ball.
Dowd looking for the cutting. Isaiah Moran-Weeks. Little shovel pass from Matthews, didn't get all the way through. Moran-Weeks hard after the ball again, though.
Starting to turn into a bit of a track meet.
Church took a little bit off that shot and then got the stick knocked out of his hands, going for the rebound off the errant shot. It'll end up bouncing its way to Brad Cree. Rogers slows it down to Moran-Weeks, who crashed through the middle as Hiltz picks up the pass. All the way back out for Dowick now. Trying to shoot it through Verge. And it'll come back near side for Barnable. Zach Mans. Still looking for his first goal here. Elected to pass that time to Church, and a miscue at the crease gives it right back to Robert Church, who's got 4.
How did he get that ball back? Was that off the rebound, or did somebody drop it?
Not sure if...
Let's see what happens here.
Looked like neither Rock player...
First shot, and I think he just gets his own rebound.
Straight off Rose.
Yeah. Church takes the shot, and the ball just comes right back to him. And you know, that's because Rose was trying to pick up that rebound before it got out of the crease. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you want to do that. If that ball, you make a save and it's bouncing out, you want to try to grab it, but then he just went a little bit too far.
Kind of looked for a half second like he thought Jackson was also going to go pick it up, so pulled back. But credit the stick skills from Robert Church, who now has...
Yeah, that ball came out of him quick.
4 goals. Just the second of the quarter and for Saskatchewan. Anderson to the corner. Floated it through the middle, off a body. It's in the crease. English had to wait for it to clear so he didn't get called back in.
And generally, the big 4 have been kind of quiet, although Keenan's got 4 assists to go along with the goal, so that's not bad.
Nothing yet for Shanks. 2 assists for Mans. In the corner, Kirst. His lane to the crease blocked off. Dawick on his wrong side. So is Matthews. We've seen that not matter before, though. And then desperately trying to shovel it at the net was Bushi. Chiliano already on the bench for the final 19.8 here of quarter number 3. And Saskatchewan try and pull back within 1. Is Keenan. All the way up top, Haley. In the middle, Keenan elected not to shoot. Backdoor Anderson. Just fumbled it last second. He's wondering why Church elected not to shoot from up top. But it turns into perhaps a better play, but not the intended result. 9-7, Toronto leading as we head into the final 15 here in Hamilton. Fourth quarter upcoming here, but before we get to that, we need to go downstairs to Ashley Dockey.
All right, we've heard it before. You have to beat the best to be the best. And the Toronto Rock's record against the top teams in the NLL is 50-50. Literally, they've had some trouble against teams like Buffalo, Colorado, but then they were able to bounce back. Again, key wins against Colorado once again. The Warriors, signs that were statement wins. Matt Sawyer told me every team is a contender on a nightly basis, no matter what the standings say. The league has never been more competitive, and quite frankly, every single coach reiterates that. He said, for us, consistency is the key. I feel like we've had it for the last 7 or 8 weeks. Against the Rush specifically, all time, Toronto is 16-12, but against the Rush when they moved to Sask, 5-4, guys.
Yeah, I think the last time the Rush beat Toronto was in 2018 season. And the Rush actually won the championship that year, beating Rochester in the final.
December 16th of that year of 2017. Here's Matthews with it again. That bouncer goes up and out of play. The Rock with an 8-5 record, and I mean, some of those games could have gone either way on both sides of the ledger, but you still sort of kind of watch some of the games trying to figure out what the Rock team really is. Even with 4 left to go, what they are right now is pretty good offensively. Flip pass to Bushi for his hat trick.
Now Josh Dowick behind the net, just looking for somebody. Looking, his cutters are coming through, and then he sees, Bushi's got his stick open, puts it right there, just floats it into his stick and in the net. Perfect play, and Bushi's having a great game.
Another one tight to the crease, another one in and out of the stick of Bushi to complete his hat trick. How about Challen Rogers getting the assist here? 7 assists.
Yeah, a very quiet 7-point night.
Has yet to put one in the back of the net. He usually explodes late in the fourth if he's going to do it. But 7 assists, I mean, that's an evening in itself. Inspired by the March break camp kids, I guess. We're patrolling the Toronto Rock Athletic Center this week. A lot of them in the house tonight. Robert Church stumbled, then a huge screen. Ball ended up bouncing away. Brad Cree waits for Bushi off the bench, looking for English in front of the crease.
I never thought I'd say, but I think Bushi's overpassing it sometimes today.
Even with a hat trick on the board.
Yeah.
Rogers, Hiltz. All the way back up top. Whoa. There's the big shot we've been accustomed to from Josh Dowick.
Yeah, Dowick's had a pretty quiet night in terms of shooting. He's got a couple assists, and that last one was a very nice one. But we know he's got that great outside shot.
Hilt's going to get a hold here as he went up over the shoulder on Ryan Barnable. Chiliano to the bench. Robert Church, the extra attacker, will be the man up top. Shoots over the pile. Rose made the save, but Haley grabs the rebound. Anderson back through Mans. No shot. Keenan trying to finesse it in. Another stop from Rose. Another rebound to the Rush. Here's Church. To Mans inside the restraining line. Keenan looking to open a shooting lane, and then the pass bounces off a Rock stick. And we will get just the second power play of the game for the league leaders in that category, Saskatchewan.
Well, on that 6-on-5 play, that was a tremendous save that Rose made. I think it was on Shanks, the pass from Keenan to Shanks, and it looked like he was putting in the empty net. Rose brought his stick out, but yeah, this is just the second penalty.
Toronto penalty number 77, 2 minutes holding.
Second Toronto penalty of the game. Let's see if we can see. This is the penalty. McKeenan helped sell it, but why not? Both teams perfect on the power plays, even though that's only 1-for-1 each of them.
The last Saskatchewan one was back in the second. Robert Church scoring to tie the game 4-4. Shanks ball through the crease.
That's a tough break for him, and that ball found that ball back in his stick.
No sense of urgency here for Kirst with 1.5 minutes still remaining on Hiltz's penalty. Kirst outside the restraining line. Switches hands, switches back now. Traditional lefty will flip it. Oh, Rogers nearly made the one-hand catch from a bad angle. Shot on Chiliano. Made that save. 1:10 by the time the Rush will get this cross center. Kid down the boards, Shanks. Now up top to Church. In and out of the stick of Shanks.
That hit the pipe.
Little twist shot. Yes, it did. In behind Rose. And a reset here. Shanks playing in front of a big contingent of firefighting buddies. Bouncer from Church, and Shanks got drilled behind the net. Brad Creed. Cross center. Slow things down. Can't take the whole penalty, but take it down to about 12 seconds or so. Bushi looking for the short-handed goal. Got a piece of Chiliano. Where's the ball?
Yeah, and I'd say this time, Bushi's run into goalies before, but I think he did his best to avoid, to stay out of that lane to the goaltender.
Messenger up across center. Final possession here, perhaps, on the man advantage for the Rush. Far side Keenan in behind the net. Haley back to Mans. To Keenan, shot stuffed there off the foot of Creed. Outside, it'll be English stepping up for a block.
Somebody's on the box.
And it's Owen Hiltz.
And that's just the right player that you want coming out of the box. I couldn't remember who got the penalty, but when I looked and saw Hiltz, clear-cut breakaway, that's the guy you want to give it to.
Great save from Chiliano, the quick shot. Didn't even really look like he moved, just shot it off the backside of the left glove. Zawada now in. And Rose gonna stand his ground. With the road trip and the injury and everything else, first game of the calendar year here in Hamilton for Nick Rhodes. And a pretty good return to the home barn. Bushi all the way up top. Still 9.5 left to go in regulation, though. Bring it off the pipe. Rush had thoughts of turning it into transition, but quickly 3 Rock defenders back. Accioni leaving it far aside. Will return it to Shanks. Through Haley. Anderson puts his head down. Haley. Shanks again. All the way back up top for Keenan. Fires it off Rose. One-man change with Anderson now. To Mans. Shanks. Oh, the bouncer will get the monkey off his back against this Toronto Rock team.
Yeah, Shanks not having a good game up to this point, but on that last power play, hit the post once, made a couple of good passes, and this is what happens when Shanks is on his game. It's just not a real dangerous opportunity, but when he's on his game, his shots just find net. And you see his bad angle, but just goes to that far side, bounces in perfectly. Sometimes you see that with guys that are great scorers. They're hot or they're not. And the Rush would love to get him hot at this point in the game.
Just a 2-goal spread now. Rock leading 10-8. Rowlett handled the faceoff. Looked like he slid a little bit before taking a hit. Now Kelleher with a bump, rolls back. Rowlett just saving it onside. Latrell Harris scores! Draw team goals just seem bigger, don't they?
Oh, yeah. You almost feel like you even get that extra oomph from the crowd, because I'll tell you, the bench loves it, the coaches love it, the effort on that. And as you said, was that Kelleher who saved it from going offside?
Either Kelleher or Rowlett. Rowlett's in against the boards.
That ball pops out here.
Yeah, Rowlett.
Beautiful play, and then this is a really nice finish from Latrell Harris, who just sells that shot and then just pulls it around to the short side. And that pickup of Rowlett looking good on that play alone.
Not just to win the face-off, but then the board battle as well, and then the dive back at center to keep it onside. Second game in a row, 10 different Rock players have registered points, with now Harris and Rowlett picking up the goal and the assist to make it 11-8. That was the final last time these two met last year. Remember, they'll do battle in the final week of the season. Bouncer from way outside. Josh Dowick has entered the chat.
Yeah, we always say Dowick can score on those outside shots. I don't even think this is one of his better ones. I think he just fools Chiliano on this shot. Usually Dowick is firing sizzlers to the top corners. This one, almost a Robert Church shot, just looking for the spot. Nice pick by Bushi. And it's definitely one that Chiliano would like to have back, particularly at this point in the game.
You know, Nick Rose credited his outside shot set. He's always liked to play around with the ball, with the stick. Kind of grew up in the Toronto Rock Athletic Center, both as a player and just growing up, period. Never really realized how good a shot he had until he came here to the NLL. But as you said, not his best one there, but still works as it's in the back of the net for his first.
Yeah, and I don't think I realized it either, like how good his shot was till last year. How many times last year did we see him taking shots, which looked like he's just going to try to reset the 30-second shot, long shots, and then go in and score.
And they're 10 to shoot, looking for Bushi again, back on the crease. And it just feels like the energy is amped up here in the building after the last couple Rock goals. Saskatchewan Shanks scored to pull it within 2, and then back-to-back in 38 seconds. Those coming 19 seconds after the Shanks goal. 7 left in regulation. Here's Shanks trying a little bouncer
again. Same spot.
That time doesn't skip high enough to get over top of Rose. Trell Harris. He'll leave it for Mark Matthews this time and head off. Matthews from outside the boards. Wheels over the top and fires. Bushi, clean pickup. Back in Dowick's direction. Matt Sawyer desperately trying to slow things down.
Well, Toronto got a reset on that last shot, so they're going to try to make the most of it.
Matthews wanted to flip it back to Hiltz. He had fallen though, so Rush will pick it up and send it back the other way. Down by 4, biggest lead of the night. Matt Hossack leaving for Brock Haley. A lot of movement in front there as Church tries to open space. Haley from outside into the stick of Rose, flips it to Hostrauser. He was out with Kelleher, who peels off to the bench. Shallon Rogers taking over. Bit of one-on-one over on that far side. Dowick thought he had a shooting lane. Will pass down to Moran Weeks. Moran Weeks to the crease into Chiliano. Took the stick of the defender with him and we got a pile up in the crease. Yeah, he wasn't happy with that crease dive. Some of this might go back to the one from Bushi a few minutes ago. Up by 4, getting a little too close for comfort for Frank Chiliano. Moran Weeks, a little too close for comfort. Heating up here in Hamilton. The NLL's March to May is brought to you by Hotel Planner. Travel smarter with exclusive NLL fan discounts at nll.hotelplanner.com. And by StubHub, your home for tickets to the speed and intensity of the NLL. (12-8) here, Toronto Rock leading Saskatchewan with 5.5 left to go. Chiliano still not very happy.
Well, let's watch. Moran Weeks takes it to that. You know what? He was shoved by Messenger the last second, and that's why I think the referee has not thrown anybody in the box as far as I can see.
Nobody in the box. Nothing on the board. As it's Sweet Caroline time here at TD Coliseum. Even Spider-Man knows the words.
And it looks like Chiliano's having an argument with the referee. I'm sure he's a little bit frustrated right now, but still lots of time. 5 minutes, 25 seconds, but the Rush has to get something going now.
I mean, 4 goals in 5:25 is not out of the realm of possibility in this game, but think of what Nick Rose has done here tonight, and
well, the Rock definitely has the recent momentum. They, 3-1 this period. They've got the last 2 goals, and they responded after the Shanks goal. They responded like within seconds after that next faceoff.
Right. Haley over the shoulder trying to cut in front of the Rock goaltender. Got enough to get the reset. Here's Church. Looked like he had room to shoot, and then he didn't with Kelleher. Went for the wrap check, lost his stick. It's back near center, and Jackson will pick up the loose ball. By the way, that game in Georgia, 15-9. Swarm continue to lead Halifax halfway through the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Halifax is playing for their playoff lives. I got to say, could be very close to over with a loss here.
Only team that can be eliminated this week is Philadelphia, but as you say, hope's pretty grim out on the East Coast with a loss tonight. Kirst over the top, was looking for the corner. I think it was there, but just off target. As we head to one final timeout. Rock trying to hang on to a 4-goal lead for a win here at home. Back here in Hamilton, the National Lacrosse League on TSN Plus. And, Shanny, every time we plan to talk about the Toronto Rock, we say, we shouldn't talk about Kirst and Hiltz because we talk about them all the time. And then they make us talk about them by a combined 10 points, 5 goals tonight.
Yeah, not bad. CJ Kirst got his 30th goal, including 3 goals, 3 assists, 2 goals, 2 assists for Hiltz. Now has 26 goals. But let's not ignore Isaiah Moran Weeks, who's there on the left. He's got his 2nd goal in his career. And the other rookie, Sam English, had a really nice assist on one of the Kurtz's goals. So 4 rookies in the lineup tonight for the Toronto Rock, every one of them contributing. All right. Oh no, Kelleher's not a rookie, is he? Yeah, Kelleher's a rookie too.
Fourth round pick, right?
And I'm sorry, Kelleher, I forgot. Hugh Kelleher got an assist on the same one that Sam English assisted.
Second one, Hiltz, that transition break that English found Hiltz on the crease. That one's been added since the goal was scored. Rogers, that'll bring it up to 11 Rock players with points. Down in the corner to Boucher. Rock just need to run out possessions here. Boucher will break free just as I say that. Floated one in on Chiliano right after the save. He takes off running. Pardon me, that's Thomas Kazik who came in to do sprint duties.
And Rush will do this the rest of the game.
Keenan to Church, back door. Keenan.
Well, so let's not forget Church's passing abilities here. I for a second there, I thought Rose made a tremendous save. He really did get over, but it was an excellent shot by Keenan to just beat Rose before Rose could get there. Let's take a look. Yeah, just a nice pass by Church to Keenan, and it has to be the quick shot because Rose knows it's going over there.
No magic save from the stick this week from Rose.
Like, it's not even like Church sold a shot there. Like, he showed that he was making that pass. Rose knew where it was going, but the shot was just too quick.
Well, and you're right. like just nearly got across to make the save. If he's double clutches at all, if the pass is not that hot one across, I think Nick Rose does come over and make it, but as it is, it's 12-9. Extra attacker out again. Zach Mans with 4 assists, 6 points now for Church, who's got the ball here, shoots just over top. Mans quickly across to make sure it doesn't go over and back. Levi Anderson desperately trying to beat the shot clock, and Kaiser will come back in.
And I think at this point you're going to see Toronto, I suspect, trying to eat the clock. I know that last time you mentioned they're going to eat the clock here, and Boucher takes a shot. Although I think, one-on-one on the goalie, I don't blame them for taking that one.
I think Kerr's proving you right now as he turned back away. The fact that English is out here may also still try to twist her into the legs of the young goaltender. The pass skip.
That's a bad break for the Rush, and that'll allow the Rock to eat up another 30 seconds.
And probably a good thing that happened so quick, because Kaiser was only really at the restraining line. He can get back between the pipes. 2-minute warning, 3-goal spread. Latrell Harris back near center.
And they're going to keep some of their defenders on the floor. Latrell Harris is not going to the bench.
Hands team in full effect. CJ Kirst has been part of that team since week 1. We thought it was a little weird, him and Sam English, but they proved over the last few that
they've been worthy.
Choice.
Yeah, that's right.
Rock will be in Philly next week before returning back for their final home game of the season against San Diego. Rose down for another save. Net was empty. He's got a couple goals in his career, but did not to look for it.
I think the fans wanted it, but Rose made the wise move.
Jackson now to slow things down, creeping back towards the center line. Turn it in on Boudreau. Half the Rock offense already off the floor. Meanwhile, for Saskatchewan, the rest of the way, Buffalo next week. Bye week, then they'll have Colorado, Toronto. Talk about running the gauntlet.
Not an easy schedule to end for the Saskatchewan Rush.
Again, first team and only team so far to qualify for the postseason. Trying to lock up the first seed by going through the 3-time champs. Colorado have looked good, and then in Saskatchewan hosting the Rock. Setting up to be a good one in, 4 weeks' time?
Yeah, in Toronto, you said they're in Philly next week.
Philly next week, San Diego here the week after. They'll finish their regular season on the road in Ottawa and then in Saskatchewan.
One D guy on the line, and we're going to have our 4 O guys. 2
So, I mean,
17-51 down low. Right. Hey.
Winnable games as we listen in to Jimmy Quinlan drawing up the play.
Yeah, and you may look here and think, what's the chance now? They're down 3 goals, and you know what? There's very little chance at this point, down 3 goals with 51 seconds to go. But you want to perfect these plays, because in 3 weeks it could be a 1-goal game, it could be a tied game. So you want to get these plays working right, regardless of whether they're going to win you a game or just pull you a goal closer.
Well, and you go talk about that season finale between these two, and I mean, you want this to be a tight game so that things like goal formula, goal differential, goals scored, goals on the road don't become a factor. Picked up here by Haley. Looking quick stick near side, intercepted. Net still empty. Doesn't look like anybody going to take off towards it. Timeout, Toronto. Final timeout for either side.
And it was very early in the season this year. I think when The Rock was actually up by 1 goal against Calgary. Timeout, last 30 seconds, and they gave the ball to rookie CJ Kurse.
Yes.
We were kind of both surprised, but impressed that they put that responsibility on him.
Remind you, about 17 minutes or so from now in Vancouver, Ottawa Black Bears will face the Warriors. TSN Plus is where you can get that. 10 o'clock Eastern time coming up. Vancouver with a win will punch their ticket.
And Vancouver's looking at first place as well. As
yes.
Seeing that Saskatchewan is very likely going to lose it. But for Ottawa came off a tough loss in Calgary last week. They're not a sure thing. Oh, Kurse went for the 4th goal in the empty net.
Out from the corner, it will go to Toronto. Just not the way Kurse wanted it. How about Elijah Gash getting on the score sheet?
Oh, I didn't realize that was Gash. I just assumed that was Bushi coming out of the corner. I saw the 1 in his jersey. I didn't see that. First goal of the season, not his first goal of his career. He scored last year, but works for that loose ball and just takes it from the net. And some teams don't like when guys score in the empty net late, but nobody's going to say anything to Elijah Gash.
You can go tell him.
Yeah.
I was thinking this in the timeout. We haven't had a review tonight, but automatically done.
Automatic, but
the last 2 minutes.
Rush it, refs. Good. They're not taking any time now. Now they did change the rule of it. Scores not within 5, they don't bother.
The call on the field has been confirmed. It's a good goal.
If they had spent more than 20 seconds in there, I would have been griping about it.
Tie up at the draw. Going to take most of this clock down. Both teams out of timeouts. Goaltender back in. It is Thomas Kaiser, but Hugh Kelleher not going to test him as the Rock are going to improve to 9-5 with a 13-9 victory against the top-seeded Saskatchewan Rush here at home tonight.
Well, a similar score to the one we saw last year. I think it was 11-8, but I think this one was a much better battle by both teams, although the Toronto Rock definitely were the better team in the second half, particularly in the 4th quarter, where they outscored 5-2 in the 4th quarter. Sorry.
Did the same in that middle one as well. Gash from Kurse just to close the book on that. CJ Kurse finishes with 7 points, along with Challen Rogers. Our TFL 3 stars of the game.
Well, you mentioned CJ Kurse. I have a feeling he's going to be one of them. Yes, he is. First star with 3 goals, 4 assists. Second star, Challen Rogers, 7 assists, 4 loose balls. And you can't ignore Robert Church, 4 beautiful goals and a couple of assists.
I love how you said he might be on that list as if you didn't pick them. But
yeah, those are our TFL 3 stars of the game.
And how about Matt Sawyer, win number 100 in his career?
Yep, he's among the elite in coaches. He's done a great job. And almost all of those wins, I think all of them but 8, have been in Toronto. He started his career in Boston with the Blazers. But this team seems to be rounding into form lately. Nick Rose played another great game.
And he was the feature of the latest edition of Rock City Unplugged. Had a transition goal tonight, and maybe to cap all that off, he gets to hang out with Ashley Docking.
Thanks, Matt. Latrell Harris, equal parts skill, strength, and swagger, if I will. Congratulations. congratulations. Huge win for you guys. Let's start there, because taking down a team like Sask, who's been at the top of the table all year, what does that mean for your guys' confidence?
Well, real big, obviously. Like you said, they're the #1 team by standing, so we have to come out here in front of our home fans and show them that we got it too. It doesn't really matter where you are in the standings. We're just trying to make playoffs and make that push, and from there we go. So.
For yourself personally, you've managed to find your stride in terms of consistency and affecting the game in different ways. What do you attribute that to?
My team. They're always pushing me to be the best, man. They know what I got. So each and every night, they just ask me to go do my job, and that's what I try and do.
And then finally, Matt Sawyer notched his 100th career win in the NLL. What can you say about his leadership and how it's impacted this team?
Well, it ain't easy getting wins in this league, so 100 wins as a head coach is pretty cool. He believes in our players, he pushes us to be our best, and, it shows 100 wins, so hell yeah, Maddie.
It also ain't easy being?
It's easy, baby.
Thanks and congrats.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I wondered if the theme and the motto was going to come out there with Latrell Harris on the floor. Thanks to him for stopping by. Thanks to Ashley Docking for her work this evening. The Rock next week will head to Philadelphia before returning home April 4th against San Diego, the final home game from here in Hamilton. Meanwhile, Saskatchewan will host the Buffalo Bandits. Still to come tonight, it is Ottawa in Vancouver, 10 o'clock coming up on TSN+. The Rock win 13-9. They are tied with Georgia still. Vancouver a chance to tie for first place here tonight. For Brian Shanahan, Ashley Docking, our tremendous TSN+ crew, I'm Matthew Carrick saying so long from Hamilton.